¿Qué tal? Soy Mike Roman y estoy escuchando True Hell Hills.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble episode 61. I am the Revolution, as we are going to be discussing the September 28th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. I am here with the man of 46,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Macram.
I am the revolution. I am the revolution. Do you get it? Get it?
I am the table.
It still hurts.
I take that as you enjoyed last night's with Dynamite.
The first half of it.
We are going to discuss AEW Dynamite. We want to hear from you. We appreciate everyone who joins us live here on Thursdays, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time for AEWramble. Show your appreciation back by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you're watching us on Facebook, drop a like, a heart, a smile emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji, however AEW Dynamite made you feel, and share it in all your favorite wrestling Facebook groups, as well as sound off in the live chat. We love to hear from all of you guys, hear your thoughts on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. We'll try to highlight as many comments as possible, but of course, your super chat donations is the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen and to hear the thoughts of me and Jimmy on what you think. We got Steven Chambers here with us saying, "What's up, True Hill Heat?" We got ALW Alan Weinstein, who says SP3 and Big Jim, hola, good homies. We got Annika, who says, "Let me guess, Jimmy ain't up yet."
Wow.
We were 1 minute late. You see what happens when we're 1 minute late? God damn it.
I've been up since 11:30. How else am I gonna watch the show?
An hour and a half before we go live, of course. Nick Jackson saying, "What's up, everyone?" We got Joseph, aka Fifth Generation Carney, who says, "It's been a minute since I've caught this live. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you are doing well as well." You also got Annika, who says, "Thank you, SP3. I guess that's for the I Am the Revolution, maybe." Yeah. I don't know. And yes, Nick Jackson had to throw out an oldie just to show you that the Young Bucks deserve credit for creating FTR.
The Young Bucks deserve credit. You know where they got all this shit from? All this shit? All of this shit.
You're wearing it early. The 25-year anniversary is in 2 weeks. Don't you feel old?
Shocking. Somebody said the 90s are the 60s. For people fucking, that was like for us. Like, wait, what? Oh my god, it is.
Yo, I never got like the whole when my parents used to be like, "Oh, back in my day, well, the basketball player." Like my stepdad used to be big onto like, he hated Jordan, and he would be like, "Well, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem all better than Jordan and all this stuff." And he used to be like, "Oh, my music is better. You got all the old school R&B guys always better than your current music." And now I'm like that. I'm like that. In a way, I'd be like 2000s, man. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. Should have listened to that. Kobe Bryant can beat anyone in the NBA today. Like that's me. That's me today.
Yeah, you'll hear a lot of that during the show because I'm so annoyed. I'm gonna keep it together.
We also got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson saying, "Oh, that is a sick shirt."
Thank you,
Jimmy. We got Steven who says R.I.P. Coolio. Yes, R.I.P. to Coolio. That was sad. I learned that during watching Dynamite Live last night. Coolio passed away. Very young, too. Just under 60. 59, yeah.
Fucking shame. But hey, such is life. How'd he die?
First hip-hop track to reach #1 on the Billboard charts. You know what it was?
I assume it's a Coolio song since we're here.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Yeah. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, that's the only one I really know. I know a few Coolio songs, but yeah. But yes, Annika, we are old. We are old. I showed that by knowing that Coolio song, and when the ham fat did it happen. But Jimmy, as usual, we start off the show not going directly into the show, but talking about any big news going on in the land of AEW. Two huge news notes. First one has to be, of course, with the House of Black, Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. A kind of a torrid affair. We talked about it a lot on True Hill Heat 194 last Saturday, but we'll talk about it with you here because apparently, we got the news last week that Malachi Black received his conditional release after it seemed like he was saying goodbye at All Out. And now this week we get this IG Live by Malachi Black where he says that, when he said that in the statement that he asked for his release, he put it in quotations. So that meant that he didn't agree with the author, doesn't agree with the terminology being used. And he also said that his release was not granted and that the fans would see him in AEW pretty soon. He's going to take some time away and then he's going to come back. He was very upset with wrestling journalists getting the time on his contract incorrect. And so what do you think about the whole affair of Malachi Black first? We should also just talk about it all in bunch with Buddy Matthews, because Buddy Matthews did a independent show in Rhode Island over the weekend where he said that he was going to take some time away, that there's been issues in the House of Black. He's going to be taking some time away from the ring and that it's not goodbye. They will see him very soon. Then Fightful Select reported that we may see Buddy gone from AEW for a while. And then a lot of people took that as then we had the Wrestling Observer newsletter with Dave Meltzer reporting that both Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black wanted to be back in WWE. A lot of that doing with their significant others being in WWE. Buddy Matthews goes out.
Significant other? When they marry Triple H?
Buddy Matthews being in a relationship with Rhea Ripley, while Malachi Black being in a relationship with Zelina Vega. So what do you think about all of this as it seems now, because Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio this week said that Tony Khan's new edict is that no one is being released. If you signed a contract, you're going to have to do the contract. What do you think about all this with the House of Black?
Yeah, now he wants to bow his fucking shoulders up. Would you stop it?
Man, but you come on, man. Don't you understand this a little bit more now? They came for his life.
I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Yo, he's like, test me if you can.
I told you, I feel awful for Malachi Black. He comes in, he's one of the guys because he's one of the bigger stars there. He's in a feud with Cody. He squashes him in one night. The reason he left or got kicked out of the, I'm not sure which, you'd have to tell me. It's because Vince is a bum. No offense, Vince. You used to be a genius, now you're not. And fucking things are better here. Then Dragon comes in and Punk comes in. Notice that he's not as big a star as he was. And then Triple H comes back over there. And now I'm fucked because I'm stuck in this place when I could have been over there with Dad, and instead I'm here with people who don't respect me. And they have not been. We agree they have not been optimally pushed here in AEW.
That's fucking bullshit.
You say so. You say so. Absolutely. All that great push the House of Black had. Listen to a 50-year-old man and a child. Ugh. I get it. And also I get Tony Khan. I have you here. I'm gonna keep you here. If I didn't know why you were leaving, maybe I'd think about it. But I know why you're leaving, and I'm not interested in helping. So no.
I respect it. This is one of the few moves from Tony Khan that I respect. You signed a con. We can't have it both ways, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We can't get mad at WWE for releasing someone who just signed a 5-year contract and releasing them after 10 days, and then get mad at Tony Khan to say to the performer, you have to honor your contract. Like,
no,
what are we doing here?
I signed here because I was going to be used right. Now I'm not being used right.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other people, if this was Andrade, I would be with you. If this was Andrade, I'd be with you.
No.
I feel like Malachi Black, relatively speaking, has been booked okay.
Relatively speaking,
not good, not great, but not bad. Okay,
I squashed Cody, and now I'm losing to Sting and Darby Allin.
I'm fine with that.
I'm losing in the opening round to Dark Order. And
okay, that one, that one
there.
That one there.
Let me leave. You don't want me. Let me leave, please. Please? Did he say please? Maybe you should try to say please first.
He didn't say please. That's what we're talking about.
Ugh. I never get mad at wrestling journalists because I don't consider them journalists. No offense, most of you. Not all of you. But all of you. You all suck. I'm sorry. Sap is probably the best one I've seen. At least today. Maybe back in the day, it'd be Keller or Melter or somebody. Right now, it appears to be Sap. And even then, he's only half a journalist. He's mostly a columnist, from what I've seen. He's always giving his opinion. Which I'm not mad at, but that's what it is.
Well, not really, because he mostly does reporting. He's a podcaster. He doesn't do columns.
I love fair enough. I forgot this is not 1985. Fair enough. He's a podcaster. He's an opinionist, if you want to call him that.
Opinionist. That's better. That's better.
Fair enough.
We got Negro Bucker says, fuck all those fans sending him negative messages and even death threats. Let this man take his time to rest. Yeah, I didn't like that part of it. I don't like the fact that his mental health was reported on at all.
Ooh.
That's one thing, because he should be the only one that should be allowed to make that public. But it's a lot of stuff where I'm just like, as soon as the report came out, I was just like, I was looking at it sideways. I was like,
wow.
I'm sorry, because the timing is very suspicious. I'm not demeaning his mental health at all. No, I'm not. All I'm saying is that the timing is intriguing. It's intriguing.
Listen, I agree. I bet you know what it reminded me of? Ironically, Ben Simmons. All of a sudden, he's got mental health issues. Like, nigga, would you stop? Would you stop? I know you don't. I'm not mad at it. Just leave. And listen, fans. I like fans in quotes. People sending him stupid messages should die slowly. But I feel that about wrestling fans, even when they don't send messages. But that aside, if you don't like messages, you should probably not go on IG Live or Twitter or any of these places. Watch how fast your mental health clears up when you don't go on these awful, toxic, poisonous platforms. You'll feel immediately better. Immediately. I'm here to help.
Immediately. Yeah, and Negro Buck saying, yeah, they ain't done shit with Andrade either. I think they've done more with Malachi than they've done with Andrade. They literally let I'm just gonna put the differences out in front of you. Okay. They let Malachi Black create his own stable that he came up with, right?
Yes.
They gave Andrade someone else's stable that was already on his dying legs. That's the difference. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to ask me, oh, what makes Malachi Black's push better than Andrade? Right there. I don't even need to go any further.
That's
right
the measurement. He's better than Andrade. He's very
I mean,
old.
that's not shouldn't be a measurement at all. I agree. Annika says, I can't blame them though. We all thought Vince would be in charge until the lid was closed, and now that Triple H is in charge, people got options. People got options when they are free to choose an option.
What? Black is 37 or whatever old fucking old he is. I gotta get the fuck out of here now. I just feel so bad for them because I gotta be honest. That is one thing I never saw coming. I never saw Vince not being in charge. Ever. I figured I'd die before he died. I just didn't see it, and he fucking retired.
And then
he was forced out, but it's not the issue. The point is he's not there anymore. Holy shit.
There was also the report that they contacted FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, as well as Swerve Strickland, who all turned them down, said that they were going to honor their contract.
Turned him down?
Yeah, they turned down WWE.
Yeah, they turned him down after fucking those bones weren't granted their release. I bet they did.
I don't know. We don't know the timeline of this. We don't know if it was before or after. But we also had a report, even though this has been rebunked and denied by Bobby Fish himself, but there was a report by Ryan Frederick of Wrestling Observer newsletter that apparently Bobby Fish went to Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and asked them to ask for their AEW release so they could return to WWE as Undisputed Era.
First of all, I completely buy that. That's number one.
So now you understand this.
I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
He even know? How would he even know unless somebody snitched? I'm sure he went to them and said, "Hey."
Yeah, the same report with Ryan Frederick said that apparently it was Adam Cole that snitched to him.
I'm sorry.
The look on your face was hilarious.
No fucks with this at all.
You have another reason to hate Adam Cole.
That was my first thought. Like, there's nothing likable about this fucking guy. I hate the fact that he's got Britt Baker. I hate the fact that he's a snitch. I hate everything about this cocksucker. Oh,
why you gotta be a cocksucker?
He's just, dude. Let's not condemn him. It's just reports. Who reported?
Just report.
Uncle Dave?
No, it was another writer for Wrestling Observer newsletter that reported.
I'll take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it slipped out. Maybe they don't fuck with Bobby Fish like that.
Maybe. Could be.
Who ended up in Dynamite. I see why he was trying to get everybody to leave. I'm not mad at it. I mean,
he ended up on Impact. That man, he took the biggest L for the week. I will say. You were slopping on Triple H in interviews. Your negotiation with AEW didn't work out. You try to talk it. Allegedly, try to talk Cole and O'Reilly to quit to leave the company with you, and they turn you down, and now you in Impact because then there was a report from Fightful Select that AEW sources denied that rumor, and WWE said that they haven't even talked to Bobby Fish.
I bet they did.
They don't want to talk to Bobby. That's how I took that. They don't want to talk. Why would they want Bobby Fish by himself?
See, no offense, sir. Triple H is like, literally, like, you're older than I am, and I feel terrible. So no.
You're older than I am, and I feel like shit right now. So
hard pass.
You know what we're gonna do? We're not gonna do that. That's what we not. That's what you know. What we gonna do? We not gonna do that. And then the other report that we should mention before we get into the show is with CM Punk. Apparently from Wade Keller of PW Torch, the aforementioned Wade Keller, he talked about it on reviewing last week's Dynamite that, they talked about the ROH thing, and he suggested that they're going to do a buyout of CM Punk's contract. I believe we did touch on it last week, but now there's more kind of news coming out with more people believing that CM Punk's time in AEW is over.
That's so sad. It's a shame they can't work it out. And by they, I mean this guy's so Punk. Knowing the personalities involved, I firmly believe Tony Khan would come to the table. He's really at the table right now before CM Punk would. He feels bitter, he feels threatened, he feels people turned on him. And when he feels even a little bit of that, whether it's true or not, he's very quick to cut the cord and say, okay, well then fuck all of you. I'm out of here. It's like, sir, I'm here to bring your pizza. Fuck all of you. I don't need this. I just wanted to work. Listen, you buy him. Wait a minute.
We all wanted it to work out.
Keep Punk under contract. We're not fucking cutting motherfuckers out. We're not buying people out. Keep Punk under contract. Keep that same energy, Skip Bayless. It's easy to do that to fucking Malachi Black, who's got no power. Come on. You know, pay this nigga to go home. This is outrageous.
Pay him to sit at home. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, you can't bring CM Punk back, and you don't have him wrestle because you can't give him a live microphone. Good lord.
Good point. Good point. That you got me there. You got me there. You made solid point. Can't argue with it. Got a couple of comments to highlight here. We got Romeo who says the C in CM stands for cancer. Jesus.
Yo, what is with this energy?
I don't understand.
How they've turned in just a year. You know who hasn't changed? CM Punk. Since I first saw him, he hasn't changed once. And now all you have changed. Turn on him. He insulted your heroes? Fuck them.
We got Aniko says FCR is leaving when their contract is up. Bet on it. I haven't seen anything that says WWE is improving their tag team division. That's what I gotta say to that. I think you about to lose some money, Annika. Steven says hard telling when Kyle going to be back anyway with his neck. Yeah, that neck fusion surgery. That's serious. So we also got Tony Chisholm who says Will Chisholm who said it felt like Tony, though he was going to sign Selena Vega to put with Andrade when Selena Vega was free before she, got off the picket line. And
what was that? Nobody's explaining it to me. Nobody's explained to me once.
She just got off the picket. She got off the picket. She got tired of being on the picket line and got off.
Vince signed her a check and that was the end of it. What the fuck? How old is she? She seems like she's on the younger side, 26, 27.
I can see her in her 30s.
She's in 30s, but I can't.
It's been a while.
You're an adult. Come on, lady. Jesus.
It's like, get it together, lady. Get it together. But let's get into the actual show. Keep those comments coming. I will highlight just a few more here. We got our good friend G Loke in the live chat saying what up at True Hill Heat. Let's get it, guys. We also got Annika who says they've already paid Gargano and Candice their money. Triple H ain't got it for Bobby right now. That's hilarious.
Triple H got up, he pulled his pockets inside out.
Like what am I supposed to do? A says keep Punk out of the world title picture when he can't.
You definitely can't hand him any belt.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
So I'm sorry, sir. We tried this twice. Fool me once, shame on me. Steven says give Punk a buyout of his contract, get rid of the headache.
He was headache for one day and not a hit his guts. This is outrageous. One bad press conference. One punching Matt Jackson of all people in the face. That's forgivable. These are forgivable things.
How dare they? How dare they punch poor old Matt? Matt is innocent.
What about Punk, who's got all that douchery on his hands now?
Douchery? Really?
Ugh. It's wet, sticky. Doesn't even smell good.
Let's get into the show. Keep those comments coming in the live chat.
You don't clean properly. Fucking fish.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
You gotta check the pH balance on fucking Matt Jackson's face.
Let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. Keep those comments coming in the live chat. Keep your thoughts coming on the show, as well as your super chat donations to help out the channel, help out the contributors so much. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite from September 28th, 2022, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What did you think about the crowd last night, Jimmy?
Better than the New York crowd, which cheered for MJF fucking their wives. These guys booed properly, at least. Ugh.
We were better. Don't worry. We were better. The show kicked off with the celebration of the Jericho Appreciation Society for I think is like his 8th nickname in AEW, the Ocho. Chris Jericho, the JAS come out in all purple attire with purple balloons. They got pizza in the background, and they're also with Luigi Primo. Luigi Primo is back, and he's made some New York pizza. Well, of course. No one here because this place is full of losers. Anna Jay gets on the mic and says no one gets pizza. It's all about Jericho. She threatens to choke everyone out, but seems to get a bit shaken up when the fans start chanting, "We want pizza." Jericho gets on the mic and says he is now the most watched and viewed Ring of Honor world champion of all time. He says tonight he will verse a former champion in Bandido. He says, but no one will be ready for the Ring of Jericho. He then turns his attention to Daniel Garcia, who doesn't look too happy to be a part of the celebration, and he lets him know that he has a gift for him, the gift of Jericho he's giving to him, and it is not a Kango hat, which we know Daniel Garcia enjoys. It's a bucket hat, a purple bucket hat to match with his lovely suit for our Ring of Honor pure champion. This really pisses off Daniel Garcia, who takes the hat off. He drops Primo right where he stands. Garcia says that it's time for him to say something he's been meaning to get off his chest. Jericho covers the mic before he can finish and says Garcia needs to think about this, and he will ask him one more time the question that everybody wants to know. Are you a sports entertainer or are you a wrestler? As the fans are chanting, you're a wrestler. This brings out Bryan Danielson to say that it's time for Garcia to make up his mind, with Jericho saying Garcia is with him. He belongs to him. He does what he says. Bryan brings up the opportunity to join the Blackpool Combat Club. This makes Garcia get in Jericho's face and says that he says that he won't be doing what he says. He doesn't belong to him. He asks about what the fans think would be entertaining. Do the fans want to see him team up with Justin Roberts? Do the fans want to see him make pizza with Luigi Primo? How about he teams up with Bryan Danielson to face Chris Jericho and his little brother Sammy Guevara? This makes Matt Menard get pissed off. He's had enough, and he says that he wants to fight Garcia and maybe punch Danielson right in the face. Danielson that says that's cool with him because before he came out, he said he was told that he would be given a match with anyone of his choosing, and since Menard wanted to open his mouth, he will choose him. So that leads to our opening match. But before we get into that, what did you think about this opening segment here, which I thought was entertaining? Of course, because they're sports entertainers, but it was long.
Yes.
Very long. I thought Jericho was good. I thought Danielson was good. Love Menard whenever he gets on the mic, just because of his accent. I thought Garcia, this was the weakest out of his promos as of late, especially when he was doing the whole entertaining bit with the crowd. And it kind of felt like Bryan Danielson walked into a trap, because I'm not too sure Garcia is a babyface going into next week. They announced later it's going to be on the anniversary show. It's going to be Garcia and Danielson versus Jericho and Guevara, La Sex Gods. So it feels like Bryan Danielson is Sting in 1995.
Yes, like he's a dumbass. Yes, segment was entirely too long. But in fact, it's a simple fix. You just don't give anybody a mic except Chris Jericho before we start. We start with Chris Jericho and then we move into Garcia. I just hated everything before that. Anna Jay's character is interesting backstage. It's kind of funny, I guess. Fun to a crowd. It's stupid. Especially after everybody else has already talked. It's just dumb. We don't need it. Once Dragon came out, it did feel like he was going to get jumped. And then he brought the tag team match, which is it was good. I know I sound miserable, but it was good. It actually was fine. You cut it in half, it's really good, even. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if we go with you brought up Sting. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Jamie Hayter situation where we're going all this way for nothing. And then Garcia just ends up right back where he is. Or maybe he goes and strikes out in his zone. I wouldn't be mad at that either. That'd be perfect. Perfect middle ground. He fucking jumps Danielson, then punches Jericho till it bounces.
Yeah, I if he is gonna turn on Danielson, even though I don't see the point, because they've done 3 matches with them. They've done 3 matches with them. I would want a little bit of time before we get back to Garcia and Danielson, even though I like the way they work with each other. I don't know. We got Annika says
a tag team though.
Hey, you gotta switch it up. We've seen a lot of singles matches from him as of late. Last week with Moxley, week before that with Jericho, week before that with Hangman. So
None of this sounds like a problem so far.
all of those are great matches. So don't get me wrong. All of those are great matches. We got Negro Bruck who says Daddy Magic is hella entertaining.
Agreed. Who's the other one? He stinks.
Cool Hand Ange.
Ugh. Why are you talking? Why are we talking? He does the talking. Let fucking Sopranos character 6 do the talking.
He's like, get out the way. Just let him talk. Let him talk. But I did like this in setting up, our opening matchup, setting up a match for next week, and further teasing Garcia versus Jericho, which we would see later on in the night what Jericho's storyline moving forward is going to be. So let's get into the opening match here, as it was Bryan Danielson versus Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. William Regal fucking marks me out on commentary now with his continued flirting with Excalibur, calling him a Rice Krispie treat who can snap, crackle, and pop him anytime. Good Lord. Good Lord. He said, I'm an eccentric British man. I can say what I want.
I'll say thank God Regal can squabble, because that could be an issue backstage. All those psychopaths.
Jesus Christ, that was great. Daddy Magic, he takes a beating in the early going. Danielson kicking him into the corner to start, but Bernard gets in a cheap shot. He knocks him to the outside as we take a break. During the break, Daddy Magic gets the advantage by running Danielson balls first into the ring post. He causes a distraction while Cool Hand hits a DDT on the floor. This allows Menard to grab a German suplex, but it also brings out Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio comes out and just lifts Cool Hand Edge and brings him to the back. I like this going, this continuation where it could have felt like Claudio was being moved aside from this feud, but this kept him connected to the ongoing feud that's going on here. He picks up Parker and carries him to the back like a bag of light groceries. And then Bryan in the ring, he hits the running Psycho knee and then sets up the label lock for the submission victory over Menard. I thought that this was solid, not good, not great, but just solid work. You can't have a bad match with Bryan Danielson, and it was good for Matt Menard to get out there because we don't usually see him in a singles capacity.
Yeah, we know why. You had a solid match with fucking the greatest wrestler on the planet. That's why. Ugh. Stick to the microphone, stupid.
What did you think overall?
It was fine, by the way. Oh, by the way, I did like 2.0 bringing up the history with Garcia. That was a nice little twist. I totally forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Right. We're together. Best part in this was Claudio. Everything else was just serviceable because Dragon's the best ever.
He's like, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, I thought it was good work here and keeps it going. This Blackpool Combat Club JAS storyline is going a lot longer than I thought it would go and should go, but they are making it entertaining every week. I will give them that.
Yes, they definitely. It's a better version of the Pinnacle Inner Circle feud.
Wow, that's the best comparison. Yes, it feels very much like it's booked like the Pinnacle versus Inner Circle, but this one is a lot more entertaining because the guys involved are all because Pinnacle was kind of propped up by MJF on the mic because they didn't give Dax at that time the microphone opportunity, even though they probably should have, and it would have made things a little bit better. But it was just Jericho and MJF talking with a whole bunch of people behind them, pretty much.
Yes, yes. Same match over and over again. Yawn.
Yeah. That's why it had to move further and move on with that one. But this one, they have legs, a little bit legs, but I was confused by one thing they did on the show, but we will get to that when we get to the end of the show. I want to see if we got any comments here before we move on. We got Steven Chambers, who says entertaining match with Menard and Danielson. Yeah. We also got Annika, who says this is the best Claudio has looked to me on AEW. Hilarious.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's about right. I've been rather unimpressed with Claudio. I look up his age recently. He's like 40 something. I've been very unimpressed with Claudio. Claudio's great. Just an AEW. Maybe it takes a while to get going. It took FTR a while to get going.
Took Miro a while to get going.
Maybe it just takes a while. I'm just saying.
Annika says that's my new pickup line. You can snap, crackle, and pop me, daddy.
Absolutely. As long as you're on the pill, because rubbers are gross.
Dear Lord.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
These things fall out of my face. I don't really have any control over them.
Just fall out of your face, yes.
Right out.
Sounds good. Next we had a quick little video hyping up Juice Robinson, talking about him scoring a victory over Jon Moxley, winning the IWGP United States Championship earlier this year in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's the reason why he gets the Eliminator match for tonight. It's progression. That's all we can ask for. They're hyping someone who's from an outside company up before they actually have the damn match.
Absolutely. We've only got 3 hours for all of our AEW talent. Here's Juice Robinson for 20 minutes. What? Oh my God. Ugh, these people.
Why do you hate things so much?
I just want people to be honest with me. I don't ask so much. I just want people to be honest with me.
You just want that honesty from Tony Khan.
You're not on the show because I don't want to put you on. That's why. You have a vagina and I don't like it.
Moving on. Next we got Wheeler Yuta coming out. We thought we were gonna get MJF who's gonna speak to his devil worshippers, which seemed to piss off a lot of people online. But Wheeler Yuta is here instead. He didn't like MJF hitting Tony Schiavone last week, who has done more for AEW than MJF could ever do. Yuta calls out MJF right now and says MJF is gonna hide behind people instead after mocking MJF's cheap heat, saying that he's gonna make fun of the Phillies and say that he has no charisma. He calls him out again, and this time this brings out MJF in a New York Mets jersey. MJF rips on Schiavone, calling him a fat old prick, and Philadelphia, before saying Yuta is one of the best wrestlers in the world that he met on the independent scene. Then Yuta made the mistake of trying to talk with him last week, and Daddy had to put him in time out. Yuta has as much charisma as Joe Frazier does right now, and he reminds everyone that Joe Frazier is dead. MJF mocks the Phillies, and you hear Wheeler Yuta said, "There's the line." That was great. Says he doesn't care because he makes more money than anyone in this bum town. Yuta says that he's had enough of this, and he says that if he doesn't quit talking and doesn't come down here and fight him, he will leave him in a pool of his own blood on Broad Street. This leads MJF to say that he's not interested in fighting this week, so Yuta tries to come up the ramp, but this brings out the guns of the firm to stand guard. MJF says that he'll fight Yuta next week in Washington, D.C., and no, Philadelphia doesn't deserve to hear his catchphrase. He tells Austin Gunn to say it, who says MJF is better than you, and you know it. The Yuta part of this was rough. Very rough.
Wow, really?
His delivery, he was kind of screechy in his delivery. I thought that it got better as it went along, especially the fire at the end when he said that he would leave him in a pool of his own blood on Bard Street. I actually believed that he was that annoyed with MJF to say something like that. It started off rough, got better as it goes along. MJF is great, so that's why I thought this was a good segment.
Wow, I didn't mind. A part of this is I do have him in a bit of a tier, which I don't expect much from Wheeler Yuta. So when
maybe it's that.
Yeah, ooh, that was pretty good. That wasn't as I thought. You know, he's how old is he? 12. I was going to stumble and stagger through this promo. He kept it together. He didn't mind the reaction. He went through it. MJF came out. He didn't break. I thought it was good. I liked all of it. I gotta be honest. I like the idea of the firm, and I like the execution so far with 2 different guys coming out this week. It just worked for me. It works. I think I like it. Maybe we found something here where we have a new version of a group. Like Paul Heyman came up with what is he, the fucking Roman?
The Bloodline.
Yeah, but what's his title? His job title?
Oh, he's the special counsel, the wise man.
And what was he to Brock Lesnar the last time? The most recent time?
He was the advocate for Brock.
Yes. Maybe we found something with factions here where it's an in and out type of fucking freelance thing. I don't hate it. I might have found something here. I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's my favorite segment of the night so far. Wow. Granted, there's only two in, but still.
Wow, we've reached a point where Jimmy is higher on a segment with Wheeler Yuta than I am. We've reached that point of the show.
I don't hate Wheeler.
This is true. You're not Romeo.
He hates Wheeler. I don't know why. He's never hate a bowl.
Testosterone says Jimmy don't like Jimmy's.
No, I don't. I just at all. It's a whole issue since I was like 21. I just think, not gonna work. Time to buy some Plan B. It makes my stomach hurt. Well, fucking baby, a pregnancy ain't gonna feel much better, is it? I suggest we get it.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Share way too much.
The girl rushes out a condom and Jimmy be
I'm
like,
serious. I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
Girl says, I'm on the pill, and Jimmy be like,
let's fucking go.
How do we always get to these type of topics? I don't understand.
That's the best uses of that ever.
Let's fucking go. Oh, Jesus, my Lord. I can't with people. I can't with y'all sometimes. Oh, we got Romeo who says, I need Yuta to have a mute gimmick.
What the fuck? Glacier. Leave him alone.
Oh, we got drop the beat. Oh, we got one Mike Nation who says Yuta is on Thunder Rosa level when it comes to promo skills. Jeez. Don't insult Thunder Rosa. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Skip Bayless. We're not doing that.
Who's better?
Huh?
Who's better? On the mic. What we're talking about. On the microphone.
Live mic? I'll take Thunder Rosa in a pre-tape. But I live mic, I'll probably take Yuta. Yuta did all right against MJF, so I'll take Yuta. Real quick video that they had after this with as I like to call them, 2 Indians and a black guy, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Santam Singh, as well as Darby Allin, setting up Darby versus Lethal next week on the anniversary show. Any comments?
That looks fun, especially since the Dummy and Bigger Dummy are not going to be there, apparently.
Yeah, what did you think about that? That felt like a tease of some type of dissension going on between the ranks.
It felt like Dummy realized this is not how you get into India, so maybe we should move on. By having a gigantic heel who doesn't wrestle, it's not going to open up the Indian market, you fucking dolt. You need to get into the black market. Here's almost. What? This makes no sense.
To get into the black market, it's almost.
You just open up Harlem. Here's almost. What? Nigga? I don't give a fuck about this giant Negro. Why would Indians care about this giant Indian running around? This is dumb.
It's like, what are we doing here? He was like, you want to get into the market for a Negro?
This is what I'm saying. This is why I always talk about billionaires or politicians or queens. This is how they think people think. Oh, yeah. He looks like me. Time for me to put money into this thing. What? That's not how that works. Ever. Poor Darby, by the way.
Darby has they have not focused on him at all, and he had a really good feud with Brody King that had no attention, yet he still can't catch a break.
I was about to say, all 3 of them were great in that feud: Brody, Malachi, and Darby,
and Sting. With the stare downs and then the face paint change. That was great.
Everybody came out worse somehow. How'd that happen? We all did great and we all got demoted. How did that happen?
How they do that here?
We do curtain call? Fuck this.
Why do you keep doing this to me? You're making me break kayfabe a lot on this episode here. Next we had our world title eliminator matchup, as it was Jon Moxley, the AEW world champion, going one-on-one with New Japan Pro Wrestling's Juice Robinson. Juice didn't get much of a reaction here. I mean, doesn't really tell us that we should be playing video packages, waking time on video package, because y'all still didn't care. He attacks Moxley before the bell. Smart move. Seems to be always a smart move to attack Moxley before the bell. To attack him, they start brawling on the outside of the ring. Back in the ring, he starts hitting the juice punches. The juice box punches, goes for the left hand of God, but Moxley blocks. We take a break. When we come back, Moxley is busted open. So does Juice have like a blood stain on his face as they were brawling on the outside of the ring. We get MJF also. He's in the luxury box watching this matchup with his poker chip, booing Moxley whenever Moxley is on the advantage. Moxley runs over Juice with a clothesline, grabs an ankle lock. That's broken up with a grab of the rope. So Moxley hammers away in the corner. Robinson sends him into the into the turnbuckle though, and then hits Pulp Friction and gets a very, very close 2 count. Then we got a really good finish to the matchup, because Juice goes for the airplane spin rock slide, but Moxley lands on his feet. He hits the regal knees, gets a 2 count, but holds on to his hands, hits the stomps to the head, and then immediately gets a cross on breaker, the Uchikatami, and immediately, this is the first time I remember in wrestling that the person tapped out immediately, like what happened in a regular fight, like what happened in UFC. They immediately tapped out. Love that finish. I thought this was a good matchup. Not a great one, and the crowd wasn't very loud for it. This felt like another WWE type crowd that really.
Oh no, I'll do that. We just don't care about Juice.
No. Just in this matchup, they
enough.
popped for the finish. They reacted to the entrances, and then they popped for the finish here. And then post match, we got Moxley celebrating, and out comes Hangman Adam Page after winning the Golden Ticket Battle Royal. What happened?
I don't know who this is. Who is this?
Hangman Adam Page, he's back on TV. We should be happy. Empty-headed dumb fuck is back on TV. He comes out and he gets into a stare down with a bleeding Moxley to preview their big match coming up for the AEW World Championship in Cincinnati. MJF interrupts them from the skybox and says that he might cash in his chip on their matchup on October 18th. But before he can finish, Wheeler Yuta is behind him in the luxury box and starts attacking him. I thought that this was really well shot. And I love how a lot of this show, I was going to say it later, but I might as well say it now. A lot of this show feels fucking connected. That's what I loved about this. For all the things that I will say wrong about this show, the one thing I will say was a big plus side that should continue is, one, recaps, because recaps are bad in WWE because they do it too often. AEW, because they don't do it at all. When they did it on this show, it stood out because I was like, thank you. Now I can become more invested in what I'm about to see, because you gave the viewer a reminder of what's going on. And then how all these stories felt connected. You had, the opening segment segue into the opening matchup, which later was, connected to the main event with Jericho and Bandido. You had the MJF and Wheeler Yuta segment, which can in a way be connected to all the stuff in the opening segment and matchup, because Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta are in the Blackpool Combat Club, but it's a separate issue because MJF is really feuding with Jon Moxley, but he's just feuding with Wheeler Yuta in the interim. You got the Firm involved there as well, and then that was all interconnected with Moxley and Juice with the post-match here, and then you also got Hangman Page involved in the world title picture. So I just named so many different things in pretty much 2 stories that feel connected on this show. I love that part about this show.
It's yes. Same, number one. Number 2, all I want is a story, and they gave me that with Yuta and MJF. It's a short story, but it's a story nevertheless. I remember from a Raw in, I want to say 2005, so I'm not sure most of you were alive, but I'm old. But here's what happened. Ready? Christian versus Batista, who was the world champion at the time, was the main event. Here's how the show opened. Backstage, Ric Flair goes to Christian and it says Triple H is going to be out there to help him. Christian and Tom Cole told Ric Flair to fuck off. We don't need your help, which is hilarious. Then Christian comes out for a promo later in the show, makes some insults. Kane comes out, he beats up Tomko. So now Christian's by himself. So then Christian goes to Triple H, says, I actually need your help. We get our main event. And it's just simple. Just tell me a story. That's all I ask. And then Batista won. We moved on to Batista versus Triple H, as we all knew was going to happen. That's all I'm asking. And they gave me with Yuta and MJF. It's going to be short story. MJF talks some shit. Yuta talks some shit back. MJF doesn't want to fight. He leaves MJF. Fucking Yuta attacks him later on. It's perfect. Don't do it anymore.
And Yuta looks smart because he took what MJF said, because MJF told him in the promo, I'm going to be up in the luxury box. So he was like, all right, I'm not going to attack you right now. You got the guns. You already told me where you're going to be later.
I didn't hate that. Great. Oh, look at the ads. Look at who wrote this. Punk. Punk clearly.
Someone with 30 years of experience.
Damien, sir. Listen, I get what you're saying. I'm not gonna read your comment, all of it. But you're saying Paige should be suspended because Punk got suspended.
That's not how that works, sir.
Listen, sir. Unless Adam Page punched somebody, we're not having an equivalent exchange here.
Like you do have to understand, sir, before you continue, is that CM Punk did not get suspended for what he said. He got suspended for punching an EVP of the company.
Yes, even Matt Jackson shouldn't be punched in the face haphazardly. That's what I'm saying.
You want it thought out before Matt Jackson gets punched in the face.
Page started it. That's not how this works, sir. If somebody steps on your shoe and you shoot them, you're going to jail. He started. I get it. I don't think shooting was a proper response.
Oh, yes. We got Steven who brings up Darby really been downhill, what we were talking about earlier. Annika says Darby is the best example of being too over.
If you say so. More like Booker's an idiot.
Yeah. And they did bring up on commentary that Juice Robinson is a free agent, and they didn't mention that what Safit said here, that Tony Storm he's Tony Storm's husband.
He pulled Tony Storm?
Yes, he did.
He must have been. That'd be nice. I'm just saying, he might not look exactly the same.
What?
He might not look exactly the same as he does now. He looks a mess. That's part of his character is to look a mess, I guess. I'm just saying.
Bro says, not gonna lie, I watched this whole match expecting Jay White to show up. I don't actually give a fuck about Juice. Props to him for pulling Tony, though.
You ain't lying. That end part, in fact, the beginning part is true too, but the end part, for damn sure. Lord. Damn, how you get?
Love it. We also got the comment you were talking about earlier from Davian saying he started it. He started this.
It is hilarious.
I know.
He started it. I had to punch him in the mouth.
I had to. What are we doing here?
I had to punch him in the face.
He would have stopped talking about Go Cabanas. I'll punch him in the face. What? We got a quick little vignette for Bandido introducing him, talking about his Lucha Libre stylings and why he's getting a shot at the ROH World Championship. Hype for the main event too, Jimmy, on one show. What are we watching here? What are we watching here?
Go ahead. Look at you. Spend some money. Spend some money on a booker. Anybody. Who gives a fuck?
Anybody but you.
Look how they demoted Jim Ross and said nothing about it.
Jim Ross is like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Huh? All right. So next was the segment you probably all have been waiting for us to discuss. We got a video on Saraya debuting last week, and then we get Justin Roberts introducing Saraya for her big first promo in AEW. She says that she is the Revolution and that this is her house, and she's ignoring the time cues because she's not leaving until she's ready. Saraya wants the women's division out here, so we get Tony Storm and a few others only to have she starts bigging up Toni Storm. She's about to big up the other women, but out comes Britt Baker and company to cut them off. Britt makes fun of how to pronounce Saraya's name, saying that you made this big return, got this big reaction, but people don't even know how to pronounce your name. And Saraya apparently says that Britt Baker's name rhymes with shit. That was her big comeback. It was blanked out on TBS, but that's what she said. Britt brings up starts slaying into Saraya. She says that she's the one here. She's the face of the division. She's the one that elevated the division. She's put it on her back. She's even put her nose on the line for this company. She's even put her neck on the line for this company. And unlike yours, talking to Saraya, her neck is strong enough. Great line. That was a great line by Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She brings out Serena Deeb, saying that Toni Storm better not take her lightly or she will be losing the AEW Women's World Championship. And then Saraya says that she knows that Britt is up to no good. So she talked to Tony Khan before this promo, and that their match tonight, Serena and Tony, will be a lumberjack match for the AEW Women's World Championship. This was rough. Saraya, I know she admitted that she was a little bit freaking nervous. She also did have that line saying that she now has a boss that listens to her, which I'm sure pissed off all the WWE fans, but I didn't mind it because we've had people who said a lot more and a lot worse. So that was fine, but she just sounded rusty on the mic. Britt Baker was great on the mic here, and it was smart to kind of put those two with the mic because they're usually pretty good, but Saraya was not here. What did you think?
She wasn't good. You all told me she was, and she wasn't. That's it. I don't hear she's nervous. She's a professional wrestler who's been in front of larger crowds before and done better. I'm sorry. This was the first of all, the material was awful in and of itself. Let's say she wasn't nervous and she was fucking The Rock out there. It's still shit material. And we've seen this before. In fact, we've seen it several times. We've seen Britt Baker and Ruby Soho. We've seen Britt Baker and Toni Storm. We've seen Britt Baker versus insert face who's going to actually take down Loudmouth down. We've heard it. I've seen it. So this time we brought out a whole bunch of people to stand behind them, apparently, including the champion behind Saraya.
Yeah, it should have been Toni Storm introducing Saraya.
Yeah.
That would have put over Toni Storm a lot more than anything in this segment did.
I guess she might be semi-bitter about not being personified, is not the word I'm looking for, but I'll use it, with the women's revolution over in WWE. That honor is going to the horsewomen. Revisionist history? Sure, but still, it works. Yeah. I'd be mad if I was WWE. Well, that's not there anymore, so yeah, who cares? Yeah, I did pay her to sit at home, right? That was me, right? I was signing those checks, right? Oh, okay. I'm the asshole. All right.
I'm the asshole. I took care of you. I'm the asshole, though.
Fair enough. I love how we ruined Jamie Hayter so she can stand behind Britt Baker in this nonsense, by the way. I'm so annoyed. I
know you're so upset about that. I was waiting for you to say. And she was over. You heard the crowd. The crowd loved her.
Why are we fighting this? Why are we fighting it? So we can do Britt and Saraya. So what? What do we want to see? Britt and Saraya? So what?
Yeah, if that's the reason why they put the pause on the Hater Babyface turn, they're making a mistake, because I don't think they've had a women's wrestler this organically over ever in their 3-year history.
Britt Baker's about the only one, but that's it.
But there was a focus push for Britt Baker. This is organic that people are behind Jamie Hayter because she hasn't gotten a push.
That's fair.
So this led into our lumberjack match, which thankfully had no talking. But I really enjoyed this matchup. These two women went out there and worked very snug, very physical with one another. We had Saraya on commentary, which Serena Deeb was really good in this matchup, though. Some of the submissions, this one, when she sat on her head and her head is touching the mat and her arms are up. Oh my God, Serena Deeb was great in this matchup. Jamie Hayter tried to get involved, tripping up Toni Storm. Sky Blue then got in her face and she laid her out with one punch. This led to Willow Nightingale coming up and getting into a brawl with her. Willow running after her to the back. Deeb grabbed on the Serenity Lock, but Toni Storm was able to break it up and get to the ropes. Storm backdrops her and hits another high cross body for a 2 count, but Deeb rolls through and gets into a half crab. Storm gets out again and then hits a Storm Zero for a surprising near fall here. The two women fight onto the top rope where Serena Deeb gets caught, and when Toni Storm hits a super freaking Storm Zero, which looked dangerous. And I will say, Soraya's reaction on commentary made this for me. I will say, her reaction.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Really good matchup. Toni Storm gets the victory with the Super Storm Zero to retain the AEW Interim Women's World Championship. What did you think, Jimmy?
It was fine. It was good, even. It was good, even. You know what? I'm going to go good. I'm going to go. Serena Deeb was always fun. I love her style, especially in AEW, where everybody's running around like a maniac. Don't know about how fair of her losing with no build up on a fucking random match on Dynamite, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. This is probably the most time the women have ever gotten.
Yo, this felt like a lot of time dedicated to the women on this show between the promo segment, which once again was not good, but at least it was time to give them a promo, which is progression. But the match, that was good. I felt like these two women.
All it took was a hurricane threatening to wipe out Florida for the women to get any time. Was half the male roster being obliterated.
It's being obliterated by a storm. That's what it took. That's all it took. Something simple. What we complaining about? Something simple.
Yeah, fuck it. Well, I'm glad it happened. And it happened before 9:30.
Yes. And it was very close to the top of the hour. So, yeah, I have no complaints about the match. It was just
don't complain about how all of you overrated Paige, and we all paid for it with 10 minutes of our life. How about that? How about we start there?
Why can't she be Rusty? Explain that to me.
Because she was never that good to begin with. How's that for a
start? Yeah, she was good to begin
with.
Oh my God.
She was fine.
She helped start the revolution.
Yes. Right, absolutely. And fucking Naismith invented basketball. So what? He's not Kobe. He's not Michael. He's not LeBron. I don't give a fuck. You suck, bro. And Paige helped build this thing up, but there's a reason she was replaced rather swiftly. She wasn't as good as they are.
It's because of injuries. No, it wasn't because she wasn't as good as they are.
The Horsemen better than her, even at her peak? Are they better than her? All four of them. It's like, come on, it's over.
I won't give my opinion. I'm not going to give my
Sorry.
opinion.
It is what it is.
I will say, yeah, they
are. Yo, Romeo's going in. What the fuck? He said, first of all, she need to look at the woman in the mirror. And now he's saying she want to be starting something.
Saraya needs to look at the woman in the mirror. Oh, my God.
I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
He's the fire makeup artist.
He also says the promo segment, it's like Orton versus Cena with Bryan Danielson getting chanted for in the background. Yeah, that's what Jamie Hayter was. He was Bryan Danielson during the title being brought up.
I'm glad you guys brought up that example. All my examples are really old. That feels like much closer to fucking modern day history.
We got Romeo. This says Saraya ruined in 1 week. Impressive.
That's what the doctor said after he was done with her face. I was like, oh shit, I fucked that one up.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm sorry. Don't get plastic surgery, folks. They haven't figured it out yet. They've gotten better. Like, it used to look awful 20 years ago. Now it's just kind of bad. Not bad. You can notice it. Maybe in 20 years, they'll have it figured out.
Will Chisholm says, "Bring out all the women," and then 5 women comes out. Not smart, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan stinks. Can we just acknowledge this? Jamie Hayter just got an impossibly over. This is like fucking, because he just has in his head, he's got what he wants to do. And it's something that he didn't want to do happens, but he's like, I can't really do that because I have this thing I was doing over here. Imagine after the King of the Ring, old example again, all of a sudden 96, he gets over, you're like, well, now that's done. I can go back to this Triple H thing I wanted to do. That's not how it works. This is working. Don't move. Do that. Oh,
Do that over there.
what's wrong with you?
Bro says, "I'm so glad my faves in the women's division were nowhere near this segment. I died when Athena came out with 2 women who I'm not sure are even signed, and the 3rd best member of the Beautiful People."
Hey, Nick, I'm not. She can live. Feel free.
I did agree with this. This did stand out to me when Annika saying Saraya calling Tony Storm the best women's champion. Well, who was Nyla Rose, Sheeta, Baker, or Rosa? Nice to see that Sarancha watches AEW. I thought that was a shot at Thunder Rosa.
Yes,
that's
that
what
was my immediate thought. That's a shot at Rosa. First of all, who remembers fucking Nyla Rose and Sheeta being champions? Number 1. And number 2, it felt like a shot at Rosa, or you can pretend it was a shot at Baker, which is hilarious. You know, it wasn't.
Yeah, she's definitely the best. Definitely the best. You even got him saying yee. Like, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's all I'm saying. Listen,
He says somebody don't want to be starting something. Oh,
it's so mean. I'm not letting. Listen, I'm not I guess I am knocking her. I'm not knocking her. I'm mocking her. There's a difference. I am having a laugh at plastic surgery. I'm not saying you can't get it, that you don't deserve to have a wonderful life because of it. But why do I have to pretend like it's not funny? That's why I don't understand. Why are you forcing me to pretend?
You got CM defending you, saying that the last one was undeserved. So there you go.
As always.
And she also says that Madison Rain was the best member of the Beautiful People.
I don't know who's in that group.
Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and Madison Rain.
That was good. Velvet Sky was fine as fuck. I've seen none of them wrestle once. I just seen pictures from TNA. Oh, she dates racist?
Who?
No,
she's talking about Athena. She's always talking about Athena. She brings this up every week.
That's because I've seen Paige be distinctly not racist.
Yeah, she went out with a Mexican who beat her up.
No, I was talking about the video.
Oh yeah, that too. Moving on swiftly. The Acclaim we're backstage with Tony Schiavone along with Daddy Ass, and they have an open challenge for the AEW World Tag Team titles for this Friday on Rampage. Then Keith Lee comes in and to get in Billy Gunn's face. He's saying that he cost them the AEW World Tag Team titles last week, and that's why Swerve was pissed, and Swerve is not here because of that. And Daddy Ass is not phased. He says that next week is National Scissoring Day, and he has 2 words for Keith Lee: scissor me. Scissor me is the new suck it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Any thoughts?
Over this has gotten. This is shocking. This was fine. I'm sorry, I distracted by CM. Who's giving a history lesson
Minerva
about Thomas Jefferson.
Wait, what?
She's talking about how that video doesn't make her not racist necessarily because Thomas Jefferson had a black child, Strom Thurmond as well. I don't want to get into this. I just want to say we never know anybody 100%. We're just going on percentages, and I would say that the video increases the percentage of them probably being not racist. That's what I'm saying. Not a definite. It can happen, especially back in whenever the fuck Thomas Jefferson.
Hey, I've seen plenty of movies where a racist does get BBC.
I've seen actual. You know what? We're not getting into all this. This is the whole situation. I'm not getting myself in even more trouble.
I guarantee you, when a racist white woman sees a BBC, she ain't gonna say.
I'm serious. I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
I'm trying to see how many ways we can use that. Sorry if anyone is getting annoyed, but I'm just trying to figure out how many times is it acceptable to use that clip?
Always, any connotation. Those fucking eyes are hilarious. I'm gonna pretend like he's not on cocaine. This is outrageous.
Jesus Christ. Hey, what do you think about the matchup that was set up for Rampage? Because we got further of what was going to be the open challenge for the Acclaim on Friday's Rampage. In our next backstage segment, when we came back from break, we see that the AFO are having problems, the Butcher and the Blade, with Private Party. Andrade is not liking Private Party's attitude. Jose tells them that they got to get in shape to impress their boss Andrade. And then Matt Hardy comes up, says that they had their little moment during the Golden Ticket Battle Royal on Rampage, but he says that he will be here when the storm is over. I don't know if that was great terminology to be used on this show, but here we are. And then it was announced that it's going to be the Acclaim versus Butcher and the Blade versus Private Party in a 3-way for the AEW World Tag Team titles on Rampage.
I know Tony Khan, obviously being a billionaire that he is, and he wrote the segment, is not aware how this was supposed to go. But what Matt Hardy should have led with is "I'm sorry." Those are the words you were looking for. I'm sorry. Not "I'll be here once you get over it." I'm sorry is the words he should have said.
Well, he's apologized to them before.
Again, always, and until the end of time. He should apologize for fucking slavery. He should apologize for that horseshit Matt Hardy shit he did. And then we'll talk about accepting your help. How dare you tear Andrade down? He's worse than I've ever. How? Based on what?
I agree with that. That was a little presumptuous to say that Andrade is worse than him.
I do have a question.
You literally had them sign the contract that make them a part of Andrade's family office. Like, what? What are we doing?
Oh my God. Wrestling continuity. I totally forgot. Nigga, this is a new contract. This is your contract.
Like, you're the reason we stuck in this, my dude. What are we doing?
Oh, wrestling. How ridiculous you are.
When they don't expect us to remember these things.
Whatever. It was fine. If I just walked up and saw this, I'd be like, oh, it's a fine segment. If I don't know any history, oh, yeah. They've clearly got some history with each other. He wants to take him back. Okay. Is Jeff okay? That felt very distinctly different than what we got a couple weeks ago, last week, whatever that was, when we brought up Jeff Hardy.
I think Jeff is all right. I haven't heard any update telling me otherwise. I'm hoping he's okay, but yeah. We shall see. Moving on to our next matchup on the card, we have Ricky Starks coming off of his huge victory over Powerhouse Hobbs in the lights out main event on Rampage Grand Slam. He's versing Eli Isom here, and he wastes no time at all. He misses the first try at the spear, then just keeps running, hits a spear, hits the Rochambeau, and jumps on Eli Isom like he's fucking Mario trying to get a mushroom, and then pins him 1, 2, 3 in about 48 seconds. Ricky Starks keeping up his momentum. What did you think?
I'm not mad at it. Listen, we talked about earlier how Malachi has been treated significantly better than Andrade. The Ricky Starks now is being treated better than Ricky Starks was a couple weeks ago. So you know what?
Progression. All we can ask for. Progression.
No complaints.
Next, we had a quick little video talking about Jungle Boy and his feud with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, getting the win over Rey Fenix on Rampage Grand Slam, and then the return of Christian and the attack by Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus will be in action next week on the 3-year anniversary show. Any comments on this one?
No. This has been poorly done and poorly put together. And I get Christian's hurt, which, fucked some things up. However, come on, man. We got to do this better than this. Come on. What are we doing?
Wow. Romeo says this is random. But do you think Tony and Saraya did coke together? Jesus Christ, Romeo. She's probably a recovering addict.
Oh, is she a recovering addict?
I think
is
so.
She an addict?
I mean, she had an issue with drugs and alcohol.
This is weird how I have to fucking get confirmation whether or not somebody's an addict before I make fun of them. This is silly. What if they're before becoming an addict? It's okay. Or if they're after, like, you know what? best. They didn't do coke together. They just stared at each other after the contract was signed, waiting for the other one to say something. So what are you doing? I'm just here. You want to?
We got an update here from Romeo as well. He says Andrade did tweet free El Elio 2 hours ago.
You got a whole problem here. This is what happened when you sign everybody who had WWE in front of their name. You adult.
He signed too much. You can't have 130 people on contract for 3 hours of television. I mean, doesn't work.
Here's Juice Robinson. What do you think? Oh, that works too, I guess. Why not Andrade have a 20-minute match with fucking Moxley and get beaten?
Roosh had to. We got Steven who says push Starks for the TNT belt. I would love that. I would love that a lot.
I forgot Wardlow existed.
He's been on Rampage the last few weeks.
Oh my god. How'd you botch Wardlow? You know how much work MJF and CM Punk put into that cocksucker and you just botched them? You gotta turn him heel now. You don't really have a choice.
We got Cia who says Andrade needs to get promo time. We also got Ninja Mortis who says let Andrade and Roosh take the belts after BMBPP three-way match. I wouldn't mind that. I thought that was they were leading when Private Party got a shot at Swerve in Our Glory. I thought Roosh and Andrade were going to be next up.
Well, I'm not mad at that at all. I don't think they need a Scissor Boys. Look at the Acclaimed. I don't think they need a long title reign at all. I think the win was the push. That was it.
Yeah, it was all about the chase and them eventually winning for the Acclaim. It's not about them having a long, drawn out title run. So, and they need to drop it to some heels who will eventually drop it to FTR for a long run. Ring of Honor World Championship was our main event as Bandido making his AEW Dynamite debut, going one-on-one with the Ocho, Chris Jericho. Bandido came out here and man, if you want to talk about a guy being motivated, this motherfucker was motivated in this match. Immediately comes out, hits a tope suicida, then a Flosbury flop to Jericho. He comes out, shows off his strength with a near 60-second vertical suplex. Jesus. He follows up with the Eddie dance on the top rope and then the frog splash for 2. Chris Jericho soon comes back as Bandido goes to the top rope. Jericho catches him coming off the top with a code breaker. They fight on the apron where Jericho blasts Bandido with a punch right to the nose, but Bandido hits a Hurricane Rana, dropping him to the floor for a big bump on the floor, which Chris Jericho, this feels like the second or third time he's taken that big bump on the floor, which he shouldn't at his age. We take a break and we come back with Bandido hitting a springboard sunset bomb to Jericho. He follows that up with a crucifix bomb for a 2. He goes for the X knee. At this point, we see that Bandido is bleeding underneath his mask, which I was just watching this. I was like, this got to be hard for him to breathe, hard for him to see. It's tough. He goes for the X knee, but Jericho reverses into the walls of Jericho. That is broken up by him, Bandido grabbing the ropes. He catches Jericho with a kick to the head on the top and the X knee. He then follows up with the goes to the top rope and he hits an insane avalanche moonsault slam for a great near fall. This is when the Philadelphia crowd was on their feet and probably the loudest they've been all night. But Bandido hits the X knee. He then goes for the 21 plex, gets another very close near fall. Jericho quickly, though, he basically moves the mask to blind Bandido, then takes them down, locks them into the Lion Tamer to get the tap out victory in just over 18 minutes. I thought that this was a great main event with Bandido working his ass off to try to get a deal with AEW. That's what it felt like. It felt like this man was fighting he was wrestling like a man possessed, trying to get a contract, similar to Dragon Lee in that trios match with LFI versus the Elite.
Whatever happened with that?
Yeah, see. Post-match, though, Jericho says that he is coming for every former Ring of Honor champion, and he'll start with Bryan Danielson in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which he says my home country of Toronto. On October 12th. So that special Dynamite first time in Toronto. The main event's going to be Jericho versus Danielson for the ROH World Championship. And then he said he's going to attack every Ring of Honor commentary and every Ring of Honor ring announcer, which changes the complexion of Bobby Cruz. Jericho
on his head.
Jericho low blows Bobby Cruz, then hits the Judas effect to lay him out as we end AEW Dynamite. Great match. Love the post match. I love this whole storyline with Chris Jericho going after all the former Ring of Honor champions. It makes a whole bunch of sense. But this should lead to Danielson and Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship. It shouldn't start with Danielson versus Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. I feel like it's too soon. This is now what, their third match in 6 weeks? That's not what we expect from AEW, which really do rematches to begin with, let alone two of them within 6 weeks.
Where have you been? That's the old AEW you're thinking about. And new AEW, we do rematches every couple weeks. Punk versus Moxley would be the one off the top of my fucking head. I'm just sorry, it's what they do. House of Black versus whoever the fuck we call that group, Sting and Darby. Dragons had a bunch of them. Jericho's had a bunch of them. It's just what they do now. Not mad at it. I don't hate it. The only thing I'm concerned about is Dragon losing again, because he doesn't appear to give a fuck. I'm now moving him ahead of The Rock and Mick Foley as superstar who does not give a fuck about treating themselves like superstar in the ring. You should stop losing, nigga. The match is really good though. I thought Bandido was great. You mentioned Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee was great whenever he did it. Nothing happened. We got a heel turn at the end of it. Not a heel turn, but I guess a face turn technically. I don't know what it leads for him. We don't really have the space on the roster. We already have somebody.
Whatever you're doing with Ring of Honor, he better be a part of it.
Again, Ring of Honor is just taking up time on the show. Like I'm sorry. First of all, I like what Jericho's doing. I like we have an actual story of him destroying, which I don't like, by the way. That part I don't like. When you're going to destroy something, you should destroy it. You shouldn't just beat them, because that's not a destruction, because they'll be here next week. Though hitting ring announcers, always hilarious.
Yes.
And it was great. And Jericho hit him as hard as he could safely hit him. And it was fucking great. He dropped like a bad habit. No. Why would I? What? No. What?
I will say I agree with Annika though. We better get Jericho versus Joe.
It'd be the greatest slow ass match ever.
Greatest fat people match. Fat people fighting.
It'll be fun. That's him. There's Joe. I guess there's Claudio rematch in there somewhere.
Gresham. You still got Gresham on the contract.
Not the Gresham. You don't hem up Tony Khan and think you're gonna get a rematch. Tony Khan lives his life being scared that he's gonna be bullied by somebody, and then he's actually taller than somebody, and this fucking muscled up short cocksucker bullies him too. Like, no, you're out. And you're black? Child, please. You're out of here.
Jonathan Gresham was like, I'm number 20 on the PWI 500. I should retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. And Tony Khan was
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
That was actually Tony Khan looking for where Jonathan Gresham was. He heard the voice, he didn't see him though. Fuck said that. Oh,
who said that to me?
Dare you? Yeah, this is fun. Oh, Adam Cole's a good one.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, if he's Jericho still got the title when he comes back. Christopher Daniels.
Good God, Jericho and Daniels. Oh, amazing. That would have been 20 years ago.
Battle of the 50-year-olds. Oh man, but yes. Good stuff. Yeah, there are plenty of options here. I like the fact that there is actually a direction and a story for the Ring of Honor championship. So I'm okay with Chris Jericho winning the championship. I didn't know last week. I will say this week, I'm okay with it.
It'd be better if they had a TV show. Just turn Rampage into the show.
Seriously, at this point, like just turn Rampage into the damn show. But that brings us to a close. We should also mention after the show, Tony Khan came out on stage and Bandido picked him up, gave him a big old hug. And I know you hate people hugging.
No, we know Tony Khan loves hugs. He loves hugging grown men who fucking may or may not want his hug. So Bandido hugging Tony Khan, that's great. Feel free. I'm not gonna get you a job. I don't care how much your boner pokes up into my scrotum. That's gonna be a no on the job, sir.
Your boner goes up into my scrotum? What?
You don't see that picture? Tell me you don't see that picture. It's not a picture yet.
What? Why do you do these? Why do you say these things? I don't understand. I really don't.
You look at that picture, the waistlines line up properly. That's all I'm saying.
The waistlines line up properly. You want to see it one more time?
Yeah. This is like one of your, just like a scene out of your favorite porno. So Tony Khan looks a little too happy, like he's doing no damage.
I'm not going to touch that, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to touch that.
That's what he said. I'm not going to touch that.
Anaconda says he looks like a 6-year-old.
That's on cocaine.
We got Ninja Mortis. Jimmy loves boner talk.
To be fair, I'm a man, sir.
Let's put our thumbs in the middle for the September 28th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up all around from me and Jimmy. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
I'm actually gonna go with an 8. I gave it a 7.5 last week. Wait, was it 7.5? Yeah. Was it? Yeah. I'm going with 8 this week. I like it being connected. I like all that.
I like it being connected, but I don't like it as much as last week's show, which I give a 9 out of 10.
Which was the greatest to begin with, so that's all right.
I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Wow.
This was 8. This was a maintenance show, but a really good one and had some good things I would like to see moving further from AEW. Let us know in the live chat your match of the night, MVP, LVP, last call for super chats as we wind things down here. Jimmy, who was your LVP for the night?
Saraya. Because she's fucking mid. Yeah, she's always been average. And she was off her game. Can you imagine being average and being off your game in front of every fucking people in the middle of a ring with a live microphone on national TV? At least we couldn't see the shock on her face. Thank God for that. Always look shocked.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to give it to Saraya. Saraya for LVP. She was off her game. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. Say it won't happen again.
There you go, Nick. It's
like,
okay.
like Romeo said, can't have a hurricane every week. Yes, Saraya.
Yeah,
so LVP.
She'll be all right. She'll be fine. He loves her. He'll keep pushing her.
MVP for the show, Jimmy.
Jericho. With relative ease. I love the main event. I like this promo. It was good.
I'm gonna go with Bandido. I thought Bandido was fantastic in his matchup and was the star of that matchup and really kind of I think this was maybe a thumbs in the middle show for me, but the main event pushed it over the top, and I have to credit that a lot to Bandido. So
I hate that suplex.
Huh?
I hate that suplex.
What, the vertical standing in?
I loved it for the first 20 seconds. I went, okay, this is just dumb. I fucking hate this thing. Oh my God, you end this, please.
Please end this. What was your match of the night?
Main event.
Yeah. Main event with relative ease. I agree with you there. And it seems like mostly everybody in the live chat agrees as well, Jimmy. So that brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. Jimmy.
She's here to revolutionize the division, not bury the division, ma'am. She's here to revolutionize it. She's here to help all these bums who don't know what they're doing. Because she's from the E, and that means she does know what she's doing. So follow me.
It felt like a very WWE type show, and that segment especially.
You know what it felt like to me? This is a little bit of a more recent reference. It felt like when Stephanie came in and acted like she was the face of the women's division.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was Triple H. Why are we pretending like it's not? Because she's a woman? Would you stop?
Yeah, it felt like that. And just the show overall, just how it was paced with like promo, match, interference, person comes out, make the save for interference, babyface win, promo, match with the women's segment, the connective. It felt like a Monday Night Raw kind of way. You could take that as a good thing or a bad thing. It depends. Yeah. But that segment especially felt like the bad WWE when they were forcing stuff with the women's division, telling us it was revolutionary when it wasn't. Tell the people where they can find you, Jimmy.
At Jimmy Macram on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I've done most on YouTube because that's where I get paid. Yeah.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month. The True Hill Heat Prediction Championship. Exclusive content, coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and Stardom. We also got Twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Wrestling, where tonight we're going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Blunt Impact episode 94. Ness will be there as they watch Impact on Access TV with Masha Slamovich versus Ali Catch in a Monsters Ball.
You have her name?
Match.
Well, that's an awesome name.
Masha Slamovich. Literally, we were sponsoring a promotion before she ever became a star, before she got to Impact. She was on that independent show, and the promotion said you could interview anyone on the show. And I was like, I just want to interview her because her name rules. So I'm happy that you thought the same thing. And as the people who watch Blood Impact know, they now call her in our live chat Masha Slamabitch. You can get some merchandise, prowrestlingtees.com/True Heels. Check out all the content from this past week on the channel. We had Rated Raw Superstars with myself and Romeo talking about Monday Night Raw this week with Candice LeRae's return. You had NX3 number 75 watching NXT tonight on the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel. You got True Hill Heat Sports number 42 Thursday night football watch along. It's going to be the Miami Dolphins versus the Cincinnati Bengals. So check all that great stuff out, and I'll be back here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel Saturday 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. True Hill Heat 195, Miss Chrissy Love, and special guest Jeremy Bennett of the Lost in the Mid-Card podcast. So a lot to discuss this weekend. Thank you all for joining us for today. For Jimmy, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble number 61. I am
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.